was a debate. It was a serious back and forth between Trey and Andrew S. on whether or not Trey should say something to Katie. Trey really wanted to do it. Andrew S. felt like there was no need. And they went back and forth for a while. What did you guys think? Who was right in this scenario?
I think Andrew S. is the most right. I'm not sure that Trey is necessarily wrong, but Andrew S. is right when he says, if you have a connection with Katie, if you have good conversations with her and you think you guys are moving forward, you shouldn't feel the need to rat out other guys in the house just to get brownie points with Katie. And I think that's like a very mature way to look at it. Now, if Andrew S. wasn't involved in the season and I just knew Trey and he was like, I want to tell Katie what's going on with Thomas because she deserves to know, I also agree with that.
Yeah.
But I do think in the long run, Andrew S. is right because if you can just have a good connection with Katie and not have to involve any other guy in the house, that's always going to be the best way to do it. But Trey clearly sees an opportunity where maybe he's not as far along with Katie. They don't have as big of a connection or as good of a connection. So he thinks, hey, I'll tell her about Thomas. She'll start to like me a little bit more. Clearly, he got the rose. Snitches get rewarded on this season so far. So I see both sides of it, but I lean towards Andrew S. being more correct.
Maria?
Listen.
Okay.
In my family,
Yeah.
the motto is never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut.
Yep.
And they're not following that at all.
No.
Because, like you said, Katie's rewarding people who are snitching, who are telling her whatever's happening in the house. And I understand. And Fran, you pointed this out on Cutting Stems, which I thought was a good point that you made, even though I don't necessarily agree with what's happening. Yeah. You made a good point that it's not great to be a snitch, but it's clearly getting Trey far because he received the rose. It's clearly working for him. And what you want to do is impress Katie because you're on the show for her. I agreed with Andrew, though, because I do think it's overplayed. I think we talked about this last episode. A lot of people on that show probably have thought to themselves at one point, if this doesn't work out, maybe I'll be the Bachelor. You know, they're not going on for that, but it could be that reason. And I just think you're wasting your time snitching on other people. I personally, like a boy who's like snitching about people, to me it's kind of wimpy. It's like, why are you worrying about these other guys so much? Worry about yourself, worry about your own connection, and you're gonna get much further because you are going to end up like Katie on Matt James's season, where you just become a friend and there is no romantic connection because you're too busy letting the Bachelor or Bachelorette know what's going on in the house. And that's not how you build a relationship.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew S. is also right that it screws up other guys' time with Katie, where
it's a ripple effect.
It'll work. It works out for the guy who snitches.
Right.
He gets the group date rose, and that's all good. But then,
like Katie, Andrew said, it'll work Katie up. And then
her reaction then doesn't give other guys time, and you see it. Christian ends up going home. He doesn't get time on the group dates. So I do think Andrew S. is right. And sure, again, it's beneficial for the guy who tells Katie and snitches about Tom being there because he maybe wants to be the Bachelor. But everybody else, the fallout isn't worth it.
Yeah. Now, this is kind of a mindfuck. Follow me here. So this debate between them, right, is like Andrew S. Like everybody, I think, last night was praising Andrew S. for his attitude throughout all of this in a conversation about, does Thomas want to be the next Bachelor? In my mind, Andrew S. constructed a absolute no-hitter evening because he, I think, probably has the thought in the back of his mind that he wants to be the next
100%.
No doubt about it.
Did you not see my tweet last night? I tweeted Andrew S. is like, fuck, I thought we all wanted to be the Bachelor, because he was saying, oh my God, he's screwing everybody over.
Right.
Like, he wants to be the Bachelor.
And now he's like, let's just, guys, keep it to ourselves. Let's not bring.
Right.
And he also,
definitely,
I think he's got Clay Harbor on his side. Like, Clay and Andrew S. are cousins.
Yep.
So I think when you have someone on the inside and you like know how the show works, you're telling me Clay didn't say to Andrew S. like, hey, going on this show, you're going to get so many opportunities, change my life, change my career, like, yeah, all these things. You're telling me Andrew S. isn't thinking maybe he could be the Bachelor at some point. And so he, in this scenario, like for Andrew S. to be the guy that's like, so chill, hey, I'm just here for Katie. Let's all concentrate. Don't worry about the other guys.
Right.
Like, just, if you have a good connection with Katie, then drown out all the outside noise. It's like, all right, pal.
All right, Mr. Bachelor.
Yeah, right. Saying you don't care about the guy in the house who wants to be the Bachelor, instantly makes you look like you have the maturity to be the Bachelor.
Yes, that's how everybody watching says, ooh, that guy would be a good Bachelor. They're not going to say that about Thomas, the guy who says he wants to be the Bachelor.
I also didn't even get that from Andrew being like, he'll be a good Bachelor. I had the same thought you had, being like, he wants to be the Bachelor too. That's why he's freaking out.
Yeah, it's just, it's funny to think about because there's no way that he's not like going opposite viewpoint of Trey to because all the other guys agree with Trey. Oh, it seemed like Andrew was in the minority there. Like it seemed like all the other guys were like, Trey needs to say something.
It is funny too that Andrew S had just come off a conversation with Katie where it went really well.
Yeah,
so he definitely he feels comfortable. Absolutely. He feels like he doesn't have anything to lose. But yeah, all the other guys did agree with Trey.
They did, and it's interesting because the way Trey kind of framed it, I don't know, like the wording is very important. Sort of like feel bad for Thomas in a way. I didn't like him per se, but like he did kind of get fucked in the fact that he vocalized this where it was like, oh, I did think about it. And the way they sold it to Katie was like, this guy came in here wanting to be the next Bachelor.
Right. Those are two very different things. And I don't think there's any huge Thomas fans on this podcast. But you do have to look at the wording and be like, it's very different to say, yeah, it was in the back of my mind. I thought maybe I could be Bachelor if it didn't work out. I didn't have a connection with the person that's there, as opposed to like what you're saying, where it's like, I came on here because I want to be the Bachelor, and that is my number one goal, and I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
Thomas was more of the former, and they framed it as the latter. So that was more damning for him. But there's still, you get vibes from Thomas that he wants to be the Bachelor.
Yeah, I still did not like the way he interacted with Katie. Besides,
I'm not
Bachelor
a Thomas
stuff.
fan at all.
Yeah, but and like you guys said, worked out in Trey's favor. He got the group date rose, so that is a big reflection on how Katie is kind of like handling her season and how she wants this to go, and she like wants these guys who maybe the other guys don't like to immediately be sent home, and she's not holding back in that area. She like is very much encouraging this behavior, so it's different from what we have seen in seasons past, or where there's been guys that have been causing drama and we're like, the producers will make him stay, there's no way he's going home, and they're all going home. They're all being sent home.
Right. I think so she sent 3 guys home in this way, and I think we would all agree that they were guys who deserved to be sent home.
Yeah, like they were. None of these guys were going far.
Carl, now Thomas, like all those guys were. Like what I'm saying is, snitching, we don't love it, and it's like maybe focus on your own thing. But the guys that are getting sent home are getting sent home for a reason.
Yeah,
like there's no good guys getting sent home. Like if Michael got sent home this way, it would never happen. Yeah. But if it did happen, we'd be like, oh, that's not the right guy. Yeah. The 3 guys that have been sent home, they deserve it.